Actually, last week I thought I would take a day off this time, but hello guys, and here is your weekly dose of urban news. By the way, this is already episode number 75, which is insane. So hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update, and as always, a massive thanks to my awesome Patreon supporters and everyone else who keeps this going. Let's start this time with the news from Toronto, where a new park called Bido Sigay, which means sunlight shining towards us in the Anishinaabe language, was recently opened on the artificial island of Okweminising, becoming the first new park in Toronto in many years. The island itself was completed just last year as a part of the city's flood protection program. The park covers an area of 20 hectares and features playgrounds with giant animals figures, a picnic area, walking paths, fishing spots, and a huge number of plants. Over 5,000 trees, 77,000 shrubs, and 2 million grasses. It was designed by a team led by landscape architects Michael van Valkenburg Associates, who won the competition for the master plan of the area in 2008. According to this plan, the area around the island will be home to over 15,000 residents, almost 3,000 jobs, and an additional 15 acres of parkland, which will be developed in the next phases. The second phase of the park, about 4 hectares, is scheduled to open in 2026. The park's opening is a result of a $1.4 billion three-way investment in flood protection and waterfront restoration by the governments of Canada and Ontario, as well as the City of Toronto. The German city of Cologne plans to significantly modernize its tram fleet in the coming years and has commissioned the Swiss company Stadler to build 132 high-floor cars with a total cost of just under 700 million euros. The first trams are scheduled for delivery in 2029. One of the features of the new cars will be that 2 cars can be coupled to form a train with a total length of up to 70 meters. In this configuration, they will be able to accommodate up to 470 passengers, which significantly exceeds the capacity of the previous series of trams and allows for more efficient use of infrastructure. Meanwhile, Amsterdam plans to purchase 78 new trams to replace the oldest cars currently operating in the city. The budget for the purchase is 391 million euros, which also includes the spare parts, implementation costs, and the modification of depots and maintenance facilities. The tender process will last another year and a half, and the contract with the winner is planned to be signed in the first half of 2027, so the actual trams are still quite a long way off. The new 30-meter long cars are expected to arrive in the city around 2032. We also have tram news from Slovakia, where a new tram line to the Petržalka district was opened last week. This is a large district built in the 1960s and 70s on the opposite bank of the Danube, and for most of its history it has been connected to the rest of the city only by bus routes that were operating at the limits of their capacity. In 2016 they built a tram line that crossed the Danube, but it only reached the edge of Petržalka, so most of its residents still didn't have access to the tram. And now finally a 3.9-kilometer extension with 6 new stops has been launched, running through the entire district and reaching the edge of the city, which has significantly improved transport links in the area. Construction began in 2021, and the new line mainly has a separate right-of-way with green tracks. Most of the work was completed last year, but a test run revealed some problems, so the full launch of the line had to be postponed. From now on, trams on Line 3 runs to the new end stop every 5 minutes on weekdays throughout the day, and even more frequently during the morning rush hour every 2.5 minutes. A new generation electric bus built by Spanish company Irizar was presented in Liverpool. It is 18 meters long and can carry 120 passengers, which is 30% more than a double-decker bus. So far, it is only a test model, which will soon begin testing on routes to get feedback from passengers, and the city is expected to receive the full batch in 2028. The city council plans to use the new buses to serve a route connecting the city center with the airport and the city stadiums, and as far as I understand, it should be something like a BRT. The city recently received £1.6 billion from the government to modernize its transport system and is now planning to improve it by making it integrated in London style. Well, in general, improving public transport is always a good idea, although it sounds a bit comical when Mayor Steve Rotherham says,
"This is different than the conventional bus alternative and it's more like a tram, because what you can see is that it's longer, it's 18 plus meters, it has 3 sets of doors, and when you get on it, it has the feel of space, and we can configure that however we want, but we want it so that people can get on."
Come on, this is still a bus, even though it has this fancy rounded face, but it's a good bus. Meanwhile, the French city of Brest is currently preparing to launch a new real tram line B, and at the same time, Alstom is building 8 new trams that will operate on it. The first of the new trams was recently presented to city officials at the La Rochelle factory. They are 30 meters long and, compared to the previous generation, have larger windows, 12 more passenger seats, are 3.5% lighter and consume 25% less electricity. The front shape has also been redesigned to reduce the risk of serious injury to pedestrians in case of a collision. All new trams are expected to arrive in the city between September and December, and the launch of a new line is planned for early 2026, just before the local elections. Alstom has also delivered the first train for the Orange Line in São Paulo as part of a contract for a 22 6-car metro trains. Each train will be able to carry up to 2,044 passengers and reach speeds of up to 90 km per hour. They are made of stainless steel and painted orange to emphasize the name and identity of the line. The 15 km long Orange Line with 5 stations is currently under construction and will connect the Brasilândia district in the north zone with the São Joaquim station in the city center, reducing travel time to just 23 minutes, while the bus ride currently takes about 1.5 hours. The new line has already been nicknamed the University Line because it will connect at least 7 higher education institutions. It is expected to carry around 633,000 passengers per day. The subway trains built by CRC Dalian for the Line 3 in Manila finally entered service 8 years after their delivery. Wow. These 12 4-car trains valued at $63.3 million were delivered to the city back in 2017, but it turned out that they were not compatible with the existing infrastructure. Wow, one more time. By the way, I wonder what exactly was wrong with them. After that, discussions began in the city about what to do, and some politicians suggested returning the trains to the manufacturer and reimbursing the purchase price. Currently, are used 3 trains with 3 cars each, which is a total of 9 cars. Meanwhile, CRC Dalian will also modify the trains free of charge to eliminate compatibility issues, and I wonder why only now and not 8 years ago. Once fully operational, the new trains, each capable of carrying up to 1,200 passengers, will significantly increase the line's capacity, which currently carries an average of 380,000 passengers per day. The commissioning of the new fleet will also reduce train intervals from 4 minutes to 2.5. And that's all the news for this time. If anyone is interested, the links to the news sources, as usual, are in the video description. So thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.